Nothing ruins your trip to Disney World like making a big mistake before you even get there. But the good news is that you can prevent that from happening to you as long as you know what not to do. Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars TV and AllEars.net. We're going over the worst mistakes people make before visiting Disney World. And we got these answers straight from you. Our cast also has some thoughts, but we're not going to tell you what we think until the end. All right, let's get started. First, many of our readers mentioned the dreaded temptation to overplan. Yes, overplanning might be one of the worst mistakes you can make, according to our readers. Reader Chris M. said, overplanning causes us to not take any time to just go with the flow and relax.
Overplanning can cause issues, but I understand because going to Disney World is so expensive. It really is, especially, if you've got a big family. And if you have been saving up for so long to come to Disney World and you've got one trip to get everything in, that's going to be stressful for you because you're going to want to hit everything. You're going to want to get your money's worth. You're going to need to plan some things. You got to get a hotel. You got to get park tickets and now park reservations, plus dining. And now we've got Genie and it's a lot.
Sometimes when you're planning, you can get caught up trying to hit every single thing on your wish list or trying to make sure that you get to this ride at that time and make sure that you're going and getting lunch at that spot at this exact time. Being flexible and having a go with the flow attitude allows you to take in some of that Disney spontaneity.
John C. also added, they try to plan every second of every single day while they're there and then have a meltdown when something inevitably goes wrong.
When you plan too much, you're not leaving room for things to go wrong. And they will, more than likely.
It's so important to not overplan your trip, even just from an immersive theme park situation. Because you're supposed to go in there and just, look around and immerse yourself and happen upon things, found entertainment, found attractions, to go in there and have everything timed down to the minute. Kind of takes you out of that world, that immersive, whether Fantasyland, Animal Kingdom, any of those. It kind of takes you out of that. So why not just buy into it, walk in and just see what happens? For me, I think that is why overplanning is one of the biggest mistakes, honestly, out of anything we're going to talk about today. I think that is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, because then you can't truly immerse yourself in this ever-changing Walt Disney World thing we are in now.
I'm a big-time planner, so I do like to plan for my vacations when I can. However, this can be detrimental in Disney World if you overplan, because you, no matter what, are going to have some part of your day that does not go according to plan. So while it's good to have a kind of general overview plan of what you want to get done, what your priorities are, you want to make sure that you are not over planning too much, because then it is just going to lead to disappointment.
The plan is ruined.
On the flip side, underplanning was also mentioned as a huge mistake. Reader Darla Z said, not preparing. You could still have a great time, but if you take the time to prepare and make your reservation and do a little planning, then things will go much better.
If you don't approach your Disney trip with some sort of plan, you're probably going to end up being stressed. During the pandemic, they implemented a park reservation system where within the dates that you have purchased your tickets for, you need to reserve either on Disney's website or in the My Disney Experience app. After you purchase your park tickets, they'll be valid for a certain set of days. Within those days, you have to decide ahead of time which park you're going to be in for each of those days. If you're going to be doing any sort of planning for your trip, number one on your list is to make sure that you book those park reservations.
Now, because I said you shouldn't overplan, it doesn't mean you should underplan either. There's a fine line you're walking, because if you don't plan anything, then you probably won't get to do some of the e-ticket attractions that you're planning on, because the virtual queues, you gotta plan for those. The, individual attraction selections, you gotta plan for those. All of this information you can find in My Genie Plus. Cha-ching! Choose some of just like your top 5 things, like 4 or 5 things. These are the things we're gonna hit today, and the rest of the time you're like, whoa, the Dapper Dans! Let's sit here and watch.
Reader Kristen K said, doing no planning at all. I find it beneficial to plan, but I also stay flexible with kids and weather. But having a good idea of where you want to go and what you want to do and dining reservations is helpful. Several other readers also mentioned that not getting familiar with Genie Plus is another under-planning mistake.
Please listen when I say this. If you think you might use Genie Plus on your upcoming vacation, you need to research way ahead of time. Here at AllEars.net, we have stuff on the website telling you how to use it, everything you need to know, tips and tricks, everything. We've got videos here on our YouTube channel of us in the parks using Genie, showing you how it works in real time. Even if you think I'm not gonna pay for it, I don't want to, I understand that, I get it. Even if you think you're not gonna use it, you need to do just a little bit of research beforehand. Because if you are at Disney World on your vacation and all of a sudden decide, you know what, I think I wanna get Genie Plus for tomorrow, and then you don't know anything about it, and if you don't know anything about it and then pay for it, you're not gonna know how to use the system. It's a lot, it's confusing, you need to research Genie Plus.
You also want to review Disney's calendar, so that way you know things like when rides are going to be closed, when rides are opening, when there are parties, when there are events, all that good jazz.
There's definitely a happy medium to planning just enough and over planning. You are going to want to make those dining reservations. If you have rides that you definitely want to do, you might want to consider investing in Genie Plus. However, planning every minute of every day is ultimately not going to be the most productive use of your time.
If you visit Disney World wearing brand new shoes, you may realize fast how big of a mistake that can be. Reader Shalana B said, buying new shoes is a mistake, or as Morgan W said, not breaking in their shoes.
This is a safety announcement just for your feet.
No. You don't want to go to Disney World with brand new shoes.
You are gonna hurt yourself.
Having a Disney trip coming up, you might feel compelled to get a new pair of walking shoes for your trip. While that is totally fine,
Please don't do it.
Please.
just make sure that you break those shoes in before you get to Disney.
Please.
Oh, please, 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 please. Do not come to Disney World with fresh, brand new shoes.
So the back heel is just rubbing against your heel and just tearing it up. It's just like hot sandpaper on the back of your heel.
Ooh, that just pains me even thinking about it. Oh, no.
Blisters are no joke.
In general, you just need to start a walking regimen before you come to Disney. And number 2, break those new shoes in while you're walking around your neighborhood. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Don't come to Disney World without breaking in your shoes.
It's gonna be bad.
Reader Amy K added that it's a mistake not walking miles a day in preparation using the shoes you plan on packing.
Going to Disney with brand new shoes is a bad idea because you are going to be walking a ton. Make sure that you break in these shoes beforehand, walk around in them, do some walks before you leave on your vacation, and it is going to be something you're thankful for.
I've done it. Listen, I am guilty. I am guilty of wearing new shoes to the park because I'm going to be like, oh, I'm so fashionable. Look at me. You guys are Disney bounding. I am Disney shoeing. And it was a mistake. Blisters upon sore feet. I got home and immediately, I don't think I could wear shoes for the next 2 days. So just find some shoes that you love, that if you want to look good in, that's, bonus points. But make sure they're comfortable, because you gotta take care of the piggies. When I say piggies, I mean the ones that go to market, the ones that stay home, the ones that have roast beef, the ones that have none, and the one that cries wee 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 all the way home. I hate myself.
Hey, real quick, take a second and give us a like, and if you like what you see, join the fun by hitting that subscribe button. Then you click that little notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. And be sure to follow All Ears socials on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok for more Disney and Universal polls. And also, make a point to hit AllEars.net to leave your reviews. You may be featured in an upcoming video. But hold off on writing that review until we figure out more mistakes that prevent making on your next trip. Along with shoes, a lot of people make the mistake of underestimating the amount of walking you might do in Disney World. Reader Sarah C. said, not preparing their bodies for the trip is a mistake. And Lindsay C. said, not walking beforehand. Get those steps in and build up endurance.
I wear my step counter every time I'm in Disney World, which is frankly a lot. And you are going to walk, not just like a little bit, like a lot. The lowest days, even on vacations, and now as a reporter who's there a lot, the lowest I walk is like 6 miles. To some people, that's not a lot. If you are not used to walking 6 miles a day in the heat where it's insanely hot and muggy, everything from rope drop to clothes, I'd say we go about 12 miles. That's a lot. That's a lot of walking. And if you're not prepared for it, it's not gonna work out well.
It's its own city, really. So you're gonna be walking, even if you want to park hop, even if you're just staying at one park, most of the parks are huge. So you're gonna be walking all the time. You're gonna get your steps in, maybe do a little stretch beforehand, and maybe a post stretch. Do the thing with your feet where you and then you flex and you point. Stretches are important. Yes.
On average, most people walk between 7 to 10 miles a day, and reader Colleen G said, not realizing how much walking in the parks you do in a day is a huge mistake.
If a normal amusement park is Rhode Island, Disney is Texas. You are going to be doing a ton of walking. Some parks, I'm not looking at Animal Kingdom, but I am kind of looking at Animal Kingdom, have a lot more walking than others.
Sometimes you walk so much just in the parking lot. Like, do you know how big Magic Kingdom parking lot is? If you are there on a super crowded day and you're parked all the way in the back, that's a lot of walking. You're gonna have your whole day at Magic Kingdom and then you're gonna walk back. They have trams, but if it's crowded, those trams are gonna fill up pretty quickly. So you could even just be walking a lot just in the parking lot. And that's at all 4 parks.
Not doing enough research before your trip can lead to disaster. Reader Tony D said, first-timers don't understand how big Walt Disney World is and how long it takes to go place to place.
Even if you haven't been to Disney World in just a few years, things have changed so drastically that you're going to want to do your research before you go. Whether that's learning more about Genie Plus or just what is going on at the parks in general, you will be thankful that you did, and it will make your trip a better time.
It's important to know, if you're going to a specific park, you don't show up to Animal Kingdom and go, where's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? They're like, well, that's at a different park. You're like, well, I only have this ticket to Animal Kingdom. And they're like, why are you talking so high, sir? Because I thought this was the right park.
Research Genie Plus. If you're not big into planning, that's totally cool. Make sure you research Genie Plus, because that's gonna be one of your trickiest parts, and it's hard to learn as you're doing it. Of course, sometimes that's the only way you can learn. But if you can at least have a little bit of an idea of how to work Genie Plus before you get there and before you get on your trip, things are probably gonna go a little bit more smoothly. So yeah, make sure you research Genie Plus.
And it's not just Disney World you may want to research. Betsy S. recommended doing research about parks and Florida in general. After all, you may not be familiar with exactly how hot Florida can get.
Yeah, if you don't know Florida weather, then you're in for a surprise. I can probably predict the weather of your vacation without you even telling me when you're going. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot and it might rain. And that's the basic level of Florida weather. Prepare for the sun, prepare for the heat, sunscreen, hat, whatever you gotta do, long sleeve swimsuit, wear shorts and a t-shirt, bring a rain poncho with you or a sweatshirt.
Beware Florida traffic. For people who are not coming from an area with a ton of traffic, it's a lot. When you're driving within Disney or even just around Disney, keep the traffic in mind.
And finally, the biggest mistake our readers noticed is having unrealistic expectations about your trip. Reader Camden P. said, "Unrealistic expectations, a lot of the magic is in the little moments."
It really is like Camden P said, a lot of your best moments are going to happen in the little moments and the things that you aren't planning and the things that you find really special. Some of my favorite personal moments are if we stumble by somebody getting engaged in front of the castle. Even though that's not me, it's so special to watch somebody make that like huge life decision and commitment to somebody else. And it's just fun that like you just stumble across those things. Or even I was randomly watching the Friendship Fair in Magic Kingdom. I had planned on watching it that day, and at some point I just looked over and I see this whole family just kind of look at each other and go in for this huge hug, and Mom started crying, and like, again, that has nothing to do with me, but it's moments that I've gotten to stumble across.
Planning is great. I am very much a planner and I love it. However, you are going to want to make sure to prepare yourself that things are not going to go according to plan. Doing this is going to make it so that you are more flexible on your trip and ultimately can still have a great time, even if things are not exactly as you want them to go.
You're not going to be able to do every single thing. I mean, I live here and I still haven't done every single thing. So it's important to keep your expectations in line. Everyone's visit to Disney World is going to be different, and that's okay.
Reader Jenna said, thinking they can do it all in one trip. Brandy D warned against expecting it to be perfect. And Kathy M said, set their expectations too high.
I know for a lot of people, this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and you want to make sure that you can get done every single little thing that is on your wish list. Just remember that it's nearly impossible to do every single thing that you want to do on your trip. Just by keeping that in mind, it will prevent you from getting disappointed or feeling like you didn't get what you wanted out of your trip.
Disney is a magical place. You're gonna have a wonderful vacation. Disney magic is real, it's there, you can feel it, but that doesn't mean that Disney World is perfect, and that doesn't mean you're going to have the perfect vacation. You can plan all you want, and some things are gonna happen that are not going to go according to your plan. Your kid could have a meltdown because who knows why, maybe their French fry was a little cold and then they all just melt down from there. Or if a ride breaks down, that happens a lot. Factor in breaks, especially if you've got little kids who normally when they're at home, they have nap time. Oh my goodness. Okay, pro tip. If you are bringing kids with you, if you have little kids, if they're your kids, if they're grandkids or whoever, if there are kids who normally have nap time at home, they're gonna need a nap when they come to Disney World. A lot of the times parents think, you know what, they'll be fine, it's gonna be fun and exciting, they're gonna be pumped and ready to go, and they can go all day. They cannot go all day. If they're used to having naps, they're gonna need a nap time. So please let them take a nap.
Before we let you go, it's time to ask our cast about their biggest mistakes.
3 mistakes that I've made. Not double checking my park pass reservation. Not planning ahead what I wanted to eat when I got to the parks. Trying to fit something in too close to a dining reservation.
Not planning enough. I didn't plan anything, And so I missed shows that I would want to see, or I missed events that I would want to go to because I chose not to plan. Also, I didn't learn Genie Plus fast enough for my last trip, and so I didn't know how to use it. I have overplanned to the point where it was impossible to do everything I wanted to. It was unrealistic, and frankly, there was no way I was gonna get on Tower of Terror at 9 a.m. and be off by 9:25 and then be on Rock and Roller Coaster by 9:30. That was not gonna happen.
Not doing research. You know, a couple years ago, you could have gotten away with a Disney World vacation without knowing anything. But now, in today's world, in 2020, what? Oh my gosh, what year is it? Just kidding. Ugh, you don't want to plan your entire vacation every single second, but you don't also want to go in with no plan at all. You need to have a little bit of a plan. Use a travel agent to plan your vacation for you. That's what they're there for. But you do need to know a little bit, especially research Genie Plus.
My biggest Disney mistake was definitely not wearing the right thing. I actually have really hurt myself by wearing the wrong shoes, wearing flip-flops, and walking 10 plus miles a day. Ended up with a busted knee. So take it from me, you don't want to bust your knee. It's really embarrassing, and it ends with you having to wear a knee brace around World Showcase and just hobbling about.
Okay, my biggest mistake, number one, definitely, I never eat enough. I always just go from attraction to show to attraction. I definitely have a cocktail, but that I don't eat. I don't eat, and that's a mistake. I never drink enough water. That is a big no-no because it is so hot. And I have a hard relationship with Dasani. We don't ever really see eye to eye. Sorry, Dasani. But there's the smart water, and you can also get cups of water. So hydrate or dihydrate.
So whatever you do, don't make any of these mistakes before your next Disney World visit. Need a great resource to go deeper? That's us, AllEars.net.
That is why we are here. We at All Ears are here to help you plan your vacation. So if you need to research any restaurants, if you need to know about Genie Plus, if you want to know about hotels, anything, we have it all on our website. We have it on our YouTube, everywhere.
Want more opinions? Check out All Ears on Facebook and Instagram and share your thoughts. What mistakes have you made during the Disney World planning process? Let us know in the comments. This is Chris for AllEars.net. See you next time.